Hello friends and hello student. My name is Ashok Sijala. In this session, we learn the writing and reading XML in ASP.NET with C Sharp. So yes, first I share my laptop screen. Yes, and here fix the position so you can watch better my video lecture. And here Microsoft Visual Studio Express for Web Edition open, and here I take a new file. Yes, and then that takes some time. So here data binding website folder is already open, and take new web page file. Yes, now is open. So here is C# web form file, and here or give the file name, and that is a XML. Yes, XML file write and read. So yes, we can write and read. So XML first write and then read. So write and read. So XML, yes, underscore I give. So XML write and read. Yes, I add. So yes, now take some process. Yes, now is appear. So fix our title of page, and that is here. That XML file write and read. Yes, that is our goal. So how is write and read? Yes, let us check. So first here I take one panel, and that panel ID that we give like P1 run at server side, and grouping tags that we can also take the XML uh, write and read, same over page ID, and also provide the back color. Yes, so back color, so light pink. Yes, and here we can take one first button ID that we can say BT write run at server side. Yes, and tags that write only. Okay, and then four button bold, that true bold, but and then you can say the font size. Yes, and then large, and four color. Yes, so dark slate blue. Okay, and then close, and BR tag, and first we can write and then read. So here I give the read view control. Yes, so that ID like GV write that ID and run at server side. Okay, close. Okay, so let us look our design. So yes, that takes some. Yes, now that button. Yes, I select, and here that I shift. So in middle. Okay, so that is a grid view, and that is a button. So when user click the button, that data display in the grid view and write XML file. That is our goal. So yes, here I take the our namespace. So system.data, because data set and data table, but data set we have to use. So system.data and system.data.oldb. So that is a, we can use the access, or you can also use SQL client, but here we can access database file. And we can also store our connection string in web.config file. So web and configuration, yes, that web configuration manager class in this package is there, web configuration manager class. Okay. So now let us check. First we can take three class. So OLDB connection is required, yes, and CN, and OLDB data adapter, yes, DA, and then data set, that is a system.data package. So yes, and here we can take connection string first. Yes, so let us look how our first any table is there or not in this our data binding folder. So yes, I directly go, and we can take only any table to previously design. So here eDrive and ASP.NET. Yes, here test. Yes, you have to know very well how to access database table and file you have to create. So I directly open testdb, and we can select any table. So let us check. Yes, so So here is a product table is there. I just double click. So how many record and what is this table? So yes, product ID, product name, price, and quantity is there. And let us check the design also. So yes, I right click and design view. Yes, so yes, product ID is a primary key and product name, quantity, and price. So yes, our requirement table is there and record is also there. So we can convert this table to an XML file. Yes, so that is our goal. So yes, I close this table, that for field and product name. Yes, and that also here 6 record is there. Okay, so I minimize and let us check take our, yes, that what happened here. Some open is there, virus, that software is there. Okay, now here we can take as it is our connection string, connect to database. Yes, now that screen, yes, open and access to your, you have to know also you have to change if any other SQL server, Oracle, or but here where no change is required. So browse and we can take, yes, test DB, that is our database. Open, yes, and test connection, and we can copy. Yes, advanced you have to, as it is copy, like here I copy and copy and okay and okay. So let us check how it's so we can store in web.config file. Yes, that is new for you. So web.config file, every website only one file is there, and here we can find that is first rules configuration, and config section is a first child tag in web.config. Before we cannot do or set up anything in before the config section. This is a first child tag, that is a rule, so we cannot violate, otherwise all page our disturb. And here that connection strings s is there, and here we can provide that in like here some string is setting. So here we can add to our, yes, add tag, add clear and remove. So we can add and give the name is ID. So here we can take like x is a name, and connection string, so we can copy and paste to our connection string. Okay, so only two is required, only name and connection string. And also if you use the provider name property is that provider name, but here is not required. So here you can set like system.data.oldb, but here we can use the access database and write and read. So very here not required provider name. Okay, so and if you provide then no any error. So just let us I provide, so your doubt is clear. So here just I copy here our connection, yes, that system, yes, that is just and copy. So uppercase and lowercase, no any mistake. So provide in between, yes, copy and paste system.data.oldb. So here is not help, so we can write to ourselves. So that is our connection string, and here, yes, that is clear. Connection string, find out that connection strings and add and name and connection. Here not s is there and copy. Okay, and provider name is not required, but here we provide. Okay, no problem. So save and then go in coding part and how retrieve in page load event. Here I take one string variable s1, and now our web configuration manager class, web configuration, yes, now is appear. So we can take that package then and then that is appear system.web.configuration. Here web is there, but configuration package, that is store the or handle the web configuration manager, this web.config configuration file. So here I full, yes, that configuration manager and dot. So connection, yes, here connection string, that member is appear in bracket, that index. So index, that syntax is appear. So here we can pass to our ID, yes, x and dot string, not s here means not connection string. So that is return string. So we cannot typecasting because our string is a string, s1 is string variable, and here is return string. So yes, semicolon. So that is a retrieve, and we can pass to our constructor as it is here. So what is a benefit of this technique? So that is a any like in your website 50 pages there, but you have to change your path in database. So you can change only in this here in your connection string only one time. Otherwise, what happen? You can open 50 page and one by one all connection string in your coding you have to update. So 50 times 50 page is open and all we have to update it. But that is a benefit. Only one you update, all that getting the page is automatically update that, because we have to only retry here S1. So that is a ID. So directly we can only one place change, that is centralized theme. So only one like master page, that type of meaning. So here we can only change to our database or any table that only require to here we have to change any like any drive or that only. So that is a any retry page automatically update. So that is a benefit. So normal we can update all page individually. Here only Web.Config we have to update. So that is benefit. Okay, now we can start our right button click event, and first we can retry select our server table to client memory. So there is a here we can pass the connection, and there are two parameterized constructor. First select command text and connection. So connection we pass, and here we can select star from product. The table name is a product. So converting product to XML files. So data uh, set we have to provide the memory allocation, and then data adapter dot fill. So fill method is taking server table to client memory data set, and now we can use the convert to table to XML file. Means data set there are two methods, WriteXml and WriteXmlSchema. So here is normal reading write, and here with schema. Schema means set of rules, validation, and then that the structure well format or not, that all are checking. Like XSD XML schema definition, that file is check all our user defined tag and all rules validation all are. So we can use first normal. Okay, and then here map path, that is a page class method. Yes, map page dot map path, and then actual path we have to pass. Means in the parenthesis we can write here our XML file. So I give the same product.xml. That is not any our file in here our website. Look, there is no any file in that XML, but created right that file. So that table is converting XML file. Okay, that is a writing of XML file. So yes, and then we can provide also grid just for our requirement. There is no, but you have to provide. So you can display all record in grid view. So otherwise that not required, but we have to also provide the data set and table of zero index, because there are so many tables. So here we can pass the product table, and then bind here data source. Yes, and then that is initialization. Now we can provide the all list, and that is binding. So bind method we have to. So yes, there are 6 line of coding only. So all that is a 3 line for server table take to client memory, and these 3 line for first, that is a write XML file. Map path is a physical path to our website, and store that data that our website folder name is a data binding. Yes, that rule that select that folder and store this file product.xml that is created. Okay, so let us check, and that also uh, all record display into grid view. Yes, so let us check that coding. First, write the XML, how to write. So any table you can write, no problem. So give the next table, so you can that write also simple, very simple is a XML write and read. So first we have to take the write operation. So yes, that process is going on, and now yes, that running. So yes, our XML write read ASPX file page run, and now that grid is a data binding is rules. Whenever table is bind, then and then display. Yes, first look at our design now, that not display the grid, because we have to take in design view, but in runtime that not display. Till to now that data not taking, that time up to till that not display. After that is display binding the record. So yes, that takes some process here now, and yes, so now is display. Yes, so many time, because first time load take time some. So here that is, and no here yes, first look, no grid is display. Okay, so in our page title, XML file write and read, that is page title, and I press the right button. So yes, now all table, yes, let us look. So all data is appear, 6 record is there. So I can show you. So we can already, I show you. So product, there are 6 record, yes. So that is display in grid view, yes. So that is running, and let us check our XML file right or not. So that is also we can check. So I stop debug, and here the directly not display. So I first my screen take to other place, so we can see, yes. So here I, yes, no, but here first not display, I think, yes, no display. So what to do? So here select our main website folder and right click, yes. So that is a one option is a refresh folder, yes. So we can refresh the folder, then our file is display. So yes, option is not display. So yes, sometime taking response late. So okay, again select and then press the right click, yes. So now is open. So here that refresh folder is there, yes. So refresh folder, okay, my screen is behind. So now look our product, yes, here is product X, previously not listed, but now is product, and I just double click, but first take my screen to here so you can watch better way. So product.xml, I double click, and yes, so what is that is every, that is tag rules, here is a PI processing instruction. So that version 1.0 and standalone, yes, and new, that is a root tag, every XML that is a one root tag, yes. And here at the last, because there are 6 records, that is an end tag, yes. That is and every one record store in one row, one table is there. So here one table start, and then one second record. So all record, there are 6 record, there are 6 table tag is there. So that is a write automatically, that is known as a writing. And now, yes, I think you have to understand. So we can start to reading. So here we can go and take to our designing, yes, here, and here I take the enter key and take a second button. So directly toolbox, one button, yes, and then again click and one grid to read. So also we can display onto grid view, but that not a standard control, but data control, that is a grid view, yes, here is there. So I double click and then yes, appear. So we can change that ID and all are these. Let us check. So here our button 2 is there, yes, and that ID BT read, yes, and then text we have to change. So read operation, read XML, or we can say that, and font bold, yes, we can also true, and font size in here also same in previous large, yes, and I go ahead. So yes, and 4 color we have to provide. Okay, and then dark slate blue. Okay, and on click is right itself. Okay, and grid view we can change that ID. Okay, so GV and read, yes, so that is read operation, grid view. Okay, GV read, that short, and then let us check. I click on right button. So here directly we cannot take any connection, data set, and then directly ReadXml is there, ReadXml and ReadXmlSchema. So here you can use the WriteXml. So here you can only use the ReadXml. Here you can use WriteXmlSchema. So then and then you can ReadXmlSchema. So appropriate pair you have to take. So here we can write simple WriteXml. So here we can take simple ReadXml. So schema with rules and regulations. So here MapPath again, and give the same file name. So that is our product. We have to write that read. So product same file .xml is created, and let us check. Just I copy these 2 lines and paste to here. Yes, and change the ID of a grid view. So same, yes, that reading. So change the ID and save. Let us check run or means read or not. Let us check. So yes, first we can write and then read. Let us check. So already write file we can read. Yes, so there are 2 buttons. So yes, first write. Yes, already write it and read. So yes, that perfectly. So that is a reading and reading. So all record display and grid view. So that is a simple, yes, very, that is a reading and writing that XML file. Okay. So that is a second time, right? So that message file has been modified outside of source editor. Do you want to reload? So no, because already we have to write. So reload it. Oh yes, you have to know any problem. Okay, so that is a write and reading. Okay, now we can take ourself XML file, create to ourself and then read. So that is a table write. So also one, let us check one other table name, look in our XML. So I first write again some different file name. So here like student is there, student for so many field is there. Let us check what table is no any field. So info, yes, here is there. Yes, here is record. So student underscore info. Let us check. I change and second file I write and read. So here, what to do? So here, stu underscore info. Yes, that table name. And here we can also change the XML file student.xml. And here we can use the WriteXml schema. So WriteXml schema, and here we can also let us change so student, and then here we can also change the method ReadXml schema. So both method we have to use. So and table also we can change. So that is a rules and regulation schema and sub schema, that is a word of database. Rules and regulation validation all are constraint check. Okay, so let us check that file. I first run, and then we can create to ourselves XML and then reading. So let us check. Yes. So yes, write. So yes, that is a write and read. So yes, we can change only database, but sometimes that take reading that not perfectly. That type of error is appear sometime, not reading properly, but write is perfectly. Let us check. So yes, our file is not appear. Look in the our yes, there is no any file. So we what to do? Refresh, just previous our technique. So yes, and refresh folder is there. Yes, here. So student, yes, now is I think display. So where is that? So yes, here student.xml. So yes, so look, that is different. So product is a very simple format, right? But here is schema. So that is like AX schema and some IDs are new, and that source is XML namespace or source getting XML schema. So long is there MS data, metadata of data, and then element is there. Yes, so many long complex type of choice, true table name, and then element. Here our element roll, that field name, roll number, name, student, standard, hobby, all are that string, and that. So that is a schema and sub schema. That is a write different way. Okay, writing. But reading sometimes that XML reader write not perfectly way. So here we can, as it is our coding is there, but that taking some time, that type of error is there, means not reading properly. So here we can remove, like I just try, but not sure. So I change that only because we have to not take any table, just data set and that read. Let us check that happen or not. So yes, that running, yes, write is perfectly, but read, no, it's not response. So we can same coding, but sometime happen that type not reading properly. So yes, that override, yes, no change required. And here, yes, that code we can use in our means new. I take new page and write to our own XML file. So let us check. I close all these, yes, all file, and let us. I just to copy to designing part is that only read button and grid view. Yes, okay. So I take new file and new web page. Yes, and that we can write to read ourselves. So yes, just read only and write to ourselves. So XML demo, that type give the okay directly and add. And here I pass to our button, yes, and grid view. So yes, that panel I have to not take, but we'll let us take panel also, no problem. So ID P1 run it because there is different page, so there is no any problem. So read XML file, yes, and then back color, yes, pink directly, and then close. So here directly close, I cut and paste to here. Okay, so let us check design. Yes, perfectly, and read directly. But how to read? So here only take the system.data package, yes, and data. And I copy our previous code only, yes, so that 4 line. So yes, where is there? So here is there. No, here is our previous file. So here design and then read button. I that and copy this 4 line and paste to here or that 4 line. Okay, copy. So here we can simple first, not schema is there. Yes, and can take to our file name. So here I give uh, stud or we can take employee, yes, no problem. So emp.xml, yes, that we can give our file name. Okay, and here we can take one data set, yes, that is remaining data set and yes, so that is giving the error. Yes, now it's gone, save. Okay, what to do? We can file and taking new file and take XML file. Yes, so here is the XML. Yes, and here we can give EMP XML. Yes, so EMP on XML is itself extension. So I add that is XML file. We can write to our own self, not table. So here we can write like employee. Yes, that is a an employee that start tag here not help. Yes, end tag is right itself, and then E1 employee one data, and then we can say that ID of employee. So 101 that value and name of employee. Yes, Ram, and then basic salary BS and 1000. Okay, so one and I copy this all, copy and paste 2 times. So there are 3 employees. We can write to XML is a not predefined tag, user defined invent itself on tag. So here I 2000, yes, here 1000. So 10 is there. Okay, now third record and then Lakshman, yes, and 3000. Okay, so that is our file, and we can directly read only. So we can create to ourselves and take that 4 line only. EMP XML, yes, no, so XML, XML, yes. So that file name, and let us that file already we have to create. So directly that appear, no problem. So let us run this file. Yes. So what happened? Okay, so that page is running. Yes, let us read. So yes, that perfectly reading. Yes, read XML. Yes, so ID, name, and basic salary all are perfectly well. No any problem. So that is a reading. We have to write to ourselves one file and taking. And if that sometime that perfectly reading, but if any time that giving the error, so what to do? So I in my some that I giving the demo my student, so that is a not taking this format. So what to do? So you can give like look like our product here is there product, yes. So one table you can take one record that type. If any error is there, so you can convert in your like new data set and table and one like EMP information in that table, second employee to this that table. And so if sometime that problem create, so here any no any error, so like we can write to ourselves on. Yes, here you can change also, and here but yes, here we can give like E1 all are E1, so that is perfectly reading. But here I give like second E2, then that not reading. Let us check. So that is also a testing point. So I check, yes, save, and let us check that perfectly reading or not. So that is only first record sometime reading. So we can give the same element that is perfectly reading. Yes. So that is, I think, Yes, first only one record reading. So that time that is happen. So there is two solution. You can give one table to one, or here you can take every element in one same element like E1. So that read perfectly. So otherwise that read only one record. So here, or otherwise you can give the this format to get our table convert in XML file. So table tag and one employee, second table and then second record, then table tag and then record. So that perfectly all record read. Here is not problem. So here we can E1 that E1. So same format is there. Just table to E1 that is there. So that is perfectly reading. Yes, there is no any error. So let us run again. So that is very simple. Just write to ourselves XML taking in new file and reading. Okay. So that is all our reading, writing XML. So here our session I can close. So you have to first we can take one database, and here first we can design ASP.NETC, two button, two preview and one panel, and then we can take some coding, and very important we can use the Web.Config, yes, web configuration, and to our package namespace, yes, and we can take connection in Web.Config file. That is very important. So there is a here and connection string, add tag and name and connection string. Provider, if you not provide, no any error, provide a name property because access database. So there is, you can use SQL access database, then that compulsory is required. But here access is database and we can directly use the OLDB. So universal, that OLDB is universal. Okay, and then coding part, yes. So there are three package we have to take in coding part. I just summary. So all three connection, data adapter and data set, and retry the connection string. Yes. So web configuration connection strings. Yes. S, and here is not S. So that is attributes and that is a tag, and X is ID. So S1 taking all connection string and pass to our constructor, and that is a disconnected. So no open and close is required. So here we cannot open, and directly three lines. So select star from student info and taking field method data set. So server table come into client, and we can write XML schema and simple write also. And then grid you have to bind. So that assign the table and then bind up all record display grid you. And then reading, there are two times we have to repeat. So that is a reading. And we can write to ourselves XML file and then reading. So that is same 4 line. Yes, here we can no any connections, only just data set and read XML. And also if you here use the ReadXml schema, so yes, what happened? Yes, I change the method and save and run. Yes, let us check that read or not. So yes, I think simple file is there, not schema file. So yes, let us check that read or not. Yes, not read. So normal file is there, our right XML file is normally. So we cannot use the schema. Okay, just only read XML, not schema, because that not use our schema in our file, because we can write in simple format, no any schema. That format is there. Okay, so last, yes, I run this page. Yes, so let us check that run perfectly or not. Reading. Yes, and yes, so perfectly. So yes, I hope I summarize all these things, and let us check my screen to here, because my upcoming video lecture is coming to picture now. So yes, subscribe my channel Ashok Sijalaikwandi, press the bell icon to never miss any update. Thanks for your watching, supporting and sharing my video lecture, and Hare Krishna.